So, good morning again, everyone. My name is Liz Garcia. I'm founder of this High Vibe Tribe online meetup group, and I'm also founder of the mindbodyspiritnetwork.com and the athenaarena.com, and I help alternative health professionals, transformational professionals with their online marketing efforts. And I created this online community to bring together solopreneurs because there's a lot of, Lone Rangers out there could use a little support like I do. And it's become a great community to collaborate with other people, get referrals from other people, build a referral base, and importantly, learn some basic online marketing stuff from me and from our members too, because other members will chime in during our monthly mastermind group. So today is part 2 of Facebook advertising, like how to do it, where do you begin, and last week we covered part 1, which was really important foundational basics. Before you dive into spending money on ads, I always recommend that you get some help with some market analysis. And I'm an SEO, search engine optimization specialist, and I do what's called keyword marketing research. And Google has all the information in the world you could ever want to know. And my research tells me what people are looking through Google's compilation of data. And I help sort through what they're providing to help you make informed choices about where to begin in your online marketing efforts. And then we talked about building a target audience, because if you don't understand, you got to really think like, all right, who is my audience? Who am I trying to reach? And we did, if you go look at that video, we went through how to think through building an audience. And I actually showed you inside of a Facebook ad campaign how to start building an audience. So if you want to learn how to do that, you can go to the athenaarena.com, go to the blog, you'll see the video for it on how to do that. So today I want to start with, I'm going to talk about building a Facebook ad with the objective of generating leads. Now, when you build a Facebook ad, there's many objectives you can have. And if you're a big company, you have all objectives. So as an example, as owner of the Mind, Body, Spirit Network, I have 2 objectives. One is to build leads to create new members. And the other is to generate traffic and visibility to support the members that are in the network. So I want to drive traffic and awareness so that the general public becomes aware of who we are, what we do, and where people can find alternative and holistic and transformational results for themselves. So it's an online directory. So there's 2 different objectives: traffic and visibility for one, lead generation for the other. There's many other objectives. If you have video, your objective could be get video views. So I think there's, 6 or 7 objectives you can say when you go to build an ad that you want your ad to create. But today we're focused on lead generation because everyone needs to build their business and generate leads. So the first part of lead generation is creating what's called a lead magnet and understanding what can I offer on Facebook or Instagram that would be of interest to my ideal audience. And this is where that keyword research comes in. If you don't know, if you're kind of new to what you're doing, I would look at the report and say, okay, here's a giant opening, and I'm going to use Deborah as an example. Deborah is new in her business, and she loves meditation and teaching people about meditation, but there's other aspects to it. But in order to get visibility, I looked at a report. I'm like, you know what? Guided meditations, the audience for that is huge. It's a great place to start. Let's open the door wide and let's see what happens. So her lead magnet is a guided meditation for which no one has to opt in for, which is different on Facebook. I'm like, let's not ask for an email on this. Let's bring them in, go to the landing page, listen to your guided meditation because their voice is really soothing. And if someone finds that, they likely have 5 minutes to listen to it. And then we ask for the email to say, hey, come join my weekly meditation group. So that was the strategy for Deborah or somebody that knew. Let's start with the door wide open. For Liz Bigger, she's an energy healer. The chakra healing and balancing, and she's an intuitive chakra reader, is a huge audience. There's a lot of interest in that. So you want to start with a lead magnet. And for Liz, it was the 7 chakras checklist. How to know when one of your chakras is out of whack. What are the symptoms, and that's kind of a simple one-page PDF. So you got to come up with some way to open the door to get new clients in here. And you got to remember you're speaking to a cold audience. People don't know you. So you got to be careful. This is a whole other topic. How what kind of lead magnet do you want to create for a cold audience? You don't necessarily want to bring them into what I did. I'm going against my own advice. My lead magnet for the Athena Arena to get people in the door is 3 videos that are pretty long. But I kind of understand, my intention is to attract people that would engage in this video because I want them to engage in what I'm talking about. Those are my ideal clients. I wouldn't necessarily, in fact, I'm going to change that strategy. I'm going to keep it going because it's successful right now, but I'm asking too much of a cold audience is what I'm saying. So I think I'm going to create a one-page PDF that's simpler to get people engaged. And I think my conversion rate in the email stream is going to go better. So that lead magnet, you got to consider, if you're starting out fresh, it's a cold audience. There's only particular types of lead magnets you want to present. They got to be simple, fast to consume, or you're going to lose them because they don't know you. Okay. Once you've decided what your lead magnet's going to be, you need a landing page. You do not want to run a Facebook ad to your website, to the homepage of your website. Reason being, it's way too distracting and people get lost and, what did I click on this for again? And they get distracted by something else. You don't want that. So I'm going to share my screen real quick to show you what my landing page is for my current Facebook ad. Hold on, let me share the screen. And I do want to answer those questions we were talking about from the beginning too, but hold on, we'll get to that in 1 second. All right, so this is my landing page. Stop floundering, okay. It's very simple. I'm using the exact same image here that I used in my ad. So here's the ad, which is, let me get this out of the way. Can you guys see this ad okay over here to the right of my screen? Can you see that? So there's the ad, and here's the image I used. And when you create a Facebook ad, you want to start with it lets you do 4 to 6 image tests. And I always, 6 is I'm feeling like is a little too much because it dilutes everything. So 4 is enough, and Facebook's going to start running the ad, and it's going to determine fairly quickly within a day or 2 or 3 what the best image is. And typically I'm going to let it run a week because I really want to make sure that the algorithm that's determining this has enough time to decide, okay, this is the ad that's the winner. So a problem that people have with Facebook ads is everything I just spoke of already. They haven't done the preparation, the groundwork before diving in. But another big problem is they run an ad with an image that goes to a landing page with a different image and a different type of language. So there's confusion. It's like, where did I go? What happened here? So this is like lack of congruency. You got to have congruency in your ads. You have to have congruency through the whole funnel, in fact. So when you create the ad, you're going to start with 4 to 6 images. I think 4, based on my experience, is enough because you don't want to dilute. There's too much dilution. There's like too much going on, and you don't need that many images. You have an idea, like, oh, I think this might do well, but I chose this image in this ad because I found when I posted it in social media, I got tons of engagement with this image, which is another recommendation I would make before you dive into an ad. Test it on your social media if you have a fairly decent size following. Twitter is where I get the most response. If you have a Twitter account or Instagram, I'm getting a lot of conversion on those 2 platforms. I'm not getting it on Facebook because of the nature of Facebook now. It's different. You got to pay to play on Facebook. So Twitter and Instagram is providing me feedback as to what images are converting. So let me tell you, I started off this ad campaign with a totally different strategy. and it bombed. And I spent probably 500 bucks to bomb it, which is okay because it told me. That's when I said, you know what, Liz, go back to that image converted high in Twitter and had a lot of engagement in Instagram and run the darn ad from that, which I did. Now this ad is kicking it. It's doing fantastic. So you got to make sure the ad and the landing page and the thank you page all have congruency. It looks the same. People don't feel lost. And this is a big problem with new marketers. They're trying to be all things to all people. So they switch it all up and then people get lost. They're like, I don't know what's going on here. Okay. And then after people opt in here, give me the power play. This is where they opt in. Then they land on the, whoops, not here. They land on my thank you page. Okay, I don't know how to get this stupid thing out of my way when I'm trying to show you guys something. Shoot. There we go. So here's the thank you page. And typically you want to do a follow-up to an opt-in if you can. And a video is a great way to go because you want people to get to know you. So when they land on the thank you page, the video automatically starts to play and I say, thank you for signing up. And then I give them access to the very first power play. I'm offering what's called a triple power play. There's 3 videos. So they can watch it now. And they're also going to get an email with the same link and the same, come on in and watch me now. So does anyone have any questions so far? Are you all following it? And I can hear you if anyone has a question or you want to unmute yourself. We're all good for now. Looks like we're good. All right. So another important part of running Facebook ads is to split test your landing page. And I'm going to show you why. So split test means to try different images, which is what you're already doing in the ad. So when I run my ads, once I find out what image is going to work, I come back to this landing page and I make sure that's it. It's way too much work to make 4 landing pages right out of the gate. I mean, screw that, don't do it. You're not going to get as good a conversion, but that's okay because you're letting Facebook figure out what image is going to work. And then once you figure out what image is going to work, you're going to come to the landing page and change the image so they match. And then your thank you page will have a similar background so that there's consistency and coherency through the experience for the user. They want to see that you're professional and you're not all over the place. So I have something that I use with my website called Thrive Themes, Thrive. And it's a plugin that you can buy that provides landing pages. I used to use lead pages for a long time. They were like the pioneers in landing page marketing. And I started with lead pages a long time ago and I used them for a long time, but I wasn't using it enough to warrant the up price. They kept upping their prices. So it's like $600 a year now, which is like, I wasn't doing enough to warrant that. So I found Thrive landing pages, and Thrive has some killer marketing stuff, which I love. And you can install Thrive and still keep the theme or the design of your current website. It doesn't overwrite it, which is a good thing. So when I created this landing page for the opt-in, this is an opt-in landing page. Oh, okay. I was just checking the chat. Yeah, we are recording. Aren't I? I am recording. I should be. Are you guys seeing? You're seeing that it's recording. I know I hit the record button. All right. So here's what I did differently. I created this landing page in Thrive, and they have templates that make it easy for you. And then I just modify it so that it's kind of branded for this particular, for the Athena Arena. So the only difference, so I created this landing page and then I duplicated it. There's a little button in Thrive that says create a split test. So I click the button that says create a split test, and then it says, do you want the split test based on the original, or do you want to create a whole new thing? And typically you don't want to move too many of the elements when you're split testing. You only want to change one thing at a time. So my first split test is I changed the color of the button here. I started with a black and white button, And then I said, let's change it and do a pink and white button. Which one do you guys think converted better? I'd love to know. Unmute and tell me.
The pink.
Okay.
Pink.
Deborah, what do you think?
Can you show?
Yep, there's the pink.
Mhm.
I don't have the black and white to show you, but you can imagine black and white.
I would just say pink.
Pink. Here's my results. This is the split test. So it's telling me that the pink one converted almost 27% higher than the black and white one. So the chance to beat the original one, which is the black and white one, is 96%. When you're spending money to run ads, think about the money you'd lose if you didn't know this, right? It's huge. That's a huge test. That's an awesome test. And I'm like, okay, let's change it. So after you run through this, then you stop the test and you make sure everyone gets, I only show the pink and white now. Now I have the opportunity to split test the headline and create another test. So you keep refining this so if I can better the conversion rate by changing the headline, awesome. I'm not going to change the image though because I already tested that. So I can now test the copy with the split test and see how that goes. So right now this ad's running fantastic. I'm very happy with it. So these are really important steps. If people are like not happy with their Facebook ad results because there's so many pieces of the puzzle they're not aware of, and they get frustrated and they're like, I don't know what to do. It's like, well, you need some tools to do it. You need some help to get you started. And then you can kind of follow my lead as an example, like what I like to do for my clients that want to do it for themselves. I'm like, let me do the first one. Let me set up some key elements, and then you can just take it over from there and pay attention to it from there. All right. So those are the basic elements. We created the ad. My objective for this ad is to generate leads. And all right, I want to generate leads at the lowest cost. And my own intention, you got to set your own intention and write it down, is that not only am I generating leads at the lowest cost, I'm generating highly targeted leads that aligns with my ideal client. Get specific, right? Get very clear about what you want. I don't want low-cost leads of a bunch of losers, right? You want people that are aligned with you, that are your ideal client. That's what I want. So this is where the understanding the very high consciousness level of setting intentions is powerful. And for those of you who follow me with the map of consciousness, it calibrates at 310, which is 10 to the 310th power to use intention to set what you want, write it down. This is the problem with Facebook advertising too, is no one's setting those, using reason and rationality or high levels of consciousness and intention. This is aligning with higher attractor fields that people will think you're woo-woo, but you know what? When you understand it, you're like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to set my intention. So you got to get specific about what you want so that consciousness can help you, right? Those cooperative components that the law of attraction and Abraham talk about, they can't help you if you're not telling them what you want. So my intention is to align with higher consciousness and get the leverage and help I need to get the leads and everything else that I want. So when I started this ad campaign, I think I was paying at the high end 15 to 17, I don't know, 15, under $20, but $15 to $20 a lead. And I know, because I've done this before, that it's going to start off high and most people will freak out and shut it down because they're like, I can't afford this. But you got to sit tight, because Facebook has not had enough time to work with your ad, work with your audience, and work with your objective. They got to get out there. They got to put the ad out in front of that audience and say, all right, who's responding? What's going on here? And it takes a good 10 days to 2 weeks of doing that to get it to work. So I ran this ad and then I shut it off for 3 weeks. And it's kind of interesting. I went back and turned it on. And my budget per day back then was $40 a day. And every day the cost per lead kept going down, which means I get more leads every day, right? So the cost per lead is going down, which is my intention. I want to get the lowest cost leads and the underlying tension of highly targeted leads and aligned clients. And that cost per lead is going down and the leads per day are going up. I turned this back on last week and I lowered my budget to $25 a day. I'm getting, my cost per lead keeps going down, which is awesome. I'm down to $2, $1.95 a lead. I'm getting more leads per day at $25 now than I was getting before at $40 a day. So I'm wondering if Facebook is like, you know what, we want to keep this advertiser. I don't know. We want to deliver what she wants, so she stays with us, possibly. Or the algorithm could be recognizing, all right, she stopped, she's back on, how can we keep her going? So anyway, my cost per leads are super low. I'm getting 12 to 15 leads a day. That's awesome. I'm very happy with this now. So the problem is you gotta be with it. You gotta decide you gotta stay with it. I don't ever want to shut these ads off. You gotta keep visibility out there. How are people gonna get to know you? I think it's a mistake to want to promote an event that's 10 days out if you don't already have some type of visibility standing in the marketplace. You gotta build visibility first. You gotta have a foundation on the platform. All right. So yes, Liz.
Rita Marsh had a question.
Okay, good. Thank you for checking in, you guys. You got to just stop me, you know? All right. How far out from published do you start working on an ad? All right. I can create an ad in a couple of days, but if you're trying to promote an event, you got to work a month out because you're not going to get any traction. And I was talking about this with Linda. She wants to promote this course. I'm like, okay, but I'd recommend you commit to doing this course 4 to 6 times a year so we can actually get some visibility in the marketplace on it and you can become known for it. And this course is a leveraged offering where it's a live group. And this is what I'm doing in the Athena Arena. I got to leverage my time and expertise. So I'm doing it in a big way in a live group kind of thing where now it supports the marketing effort behind all of it. You know, trying to sell a $50 product is fine, but I'd rather there's got to be a bigger strategy behind it, which is what sales funnel marketing is about. It always leads to the next level. You know, you get someone in on a low ball offer, but a genuine one, and then you build them up as they can go. It's really kind of the strategy. And it's not intended to be a sleazy thing. It's intended to get people to know and love and trust you so that they're like, hell yes, I'm the next thing. I want to do that, right? I want to go to the next level with you. So there's a strategy to the whole thing, but I feel like on Facebook now, and this has to do with the Instagram thing too, is that you got to stay on the platform. You can't just come and go. You got to be consistent about advertising and trying to get people into your classes and events, or they're not gonna stick around. So plus you're trying to deal with cold traffic, and you got to know if someone doesn't know you, it's going to be hard to get them to convert. Liz?
I just wanted to say, and I don't know how I did this or why they gave it to me, but I just got a $30 credit to boost posts.
Good.
So they just gave me $30 free to keep boosting my own Facebook.
Nice.
I don't know why they did that, but they did.
Oh, well, Google's doing it too. Google's like, they just gave me $150 and they want me to match it. They want you to get on the platform. And I'd say totally do it, but you're not going to get a lot of maybe, I don't want to say no to anything. There's no limit to anything, right? I want the doors to be open to possibility for all of you. And Lori Buchanan is a killer example of that. She gets leads for nothing, and she continues to get leads for nothing because she's a Buddhist, for one thing. She gets the whole alignment thing. right? I'm just guessing. I'm pretty sure that she does. So it's a vibrational alignment with her intentions. She's already got it nailed, and you guys all have to do the same thing. But so, Liz, I would totally use that $30 boost. However, be smart about it. Go in and don't just boost it to your current audience. Try to create a targeted audience that makes sense and see how that works, because most of everybody's Facebook following is not your ideal audience. So don't waste the $30. Practice boosting it. Go ahead and boost it, but don't let them send it to the audience on your page. Go say, I want to create my own audience, and give that a whirl. Or I don't know if they'll let you use the $30 to create an ad, because that's the better way to go, possibly. I don't know.
Well, I'm going to create an ad and see.
Do an ad versus boosting. Don't boost. Create an ad. But, a good plan for that, Liz, would be you can't get much traction with $30. I don't know. A good idea would be to try to generate leads from your lead magnet, your 7 chakras thing, or create a killer video or blog post, both. Run traffic to your website so that people can get to know you, and then give them an offer to opt into something while they're there. It could be just I don't know if $30 is enough to get enough traction to get leads, because there's not enough. You need to continue. So you got to decide, use your pendulum, how best to spend that $30, right? And if you want to use it to boost our event, that might be the best way to spend your $30. I don't know. I don't want to tell you what to do, but to use your pendulum, that'll tell you. All right. So, it's 9:37. We got time. Cool. All right. So here's the next step of having a successful Facebook ad campaign, but I'm going to go in a minute. I want to talk about why you're getting so much engagement on Instagram. Here's my guess, and then Laura, you might want to chime in on this, or anyone else who has a feeling about it. Instagram is just kind of a newbie in the sponsored ad thing. It's a different platform than Facebook. It has different intentions. So I think Instagram doesn't have enough users so that filling up a feed, that you're getting a higher percentage of people that are following you seeing your feed, because it's not crowded like Facebook. So, and I think it wants to encourage the platform. So it's kind of opening up. How many people are we going to let people see so that you feel encouraged to continue with the platform? Because I am too. But I think it has something to do with the space on Facebook is really crowded. And just so you know, most of my ads are getting delivered on Instagram, even though I created a Facebook ad. So when you create a Facebook ad, it has like a dozen different ways it's going to show up. And wherever there's room to show up, it's going to show up. And different ways, they have all these different platforms. There's a lot of them. But when I look at my analytics, all of my ads are showing up on Instagram, nothing on Facebook. I'm like, whoa, this is interesting. And I'm noticing my click-through rate on Instagram is considerably lower than they was when I ran Facebook ads. So as an example, when I ran Facebook ads, my click-through rate on the image or the ad I ran typically would run 3 to 7%, which was very high. I loved it. But now my click-through rate on Instagram is like 1%, 1.5%. I'm like, oh, this stinks. However, I thought through it. I'm like, well, Instagram's a different platform. People are not used to clicking through to do anything on Instagram. So it's hasn't quite caught on probably to even engage in sponsored ads yet. But what's awesome is that when people land on my landing page, my click-through rate there is double what it used to be. It's 60%. That's huge. I'm like, okay, I'm happy. Yes, Liz.
Are you seeing these stats on MailChimp, or where are you seeing these stats?
You see the stats in your, I see the stats on my Facebook stats because it tells me where my ad's going, what's happening, what's the click-through rate. Let me just see if I can show you that. And then I'm looking at my stats on my landing page. I'm like, so the landing page is different. Liz, than the Facebook ad. And then, so the landing page stats are saying your opt-in rate for the pink button is like 60%. So I'm looking at stats all along the way. This is why it's helpful to get someone who knows what they're doing to help you, because it's a little confusing. And then the next step is stats in your email automation stream. Now, Lori, did you want to chime in on that whole Instagram insight thing? Do you have any insights on that?
Yes. Well, first of all, I wanted to say to Liz, I have really appreciated your Instagrams when you're more personal, you're seeing you inside your home. So the one like where you're laying down and you've got the crystals on, that was wonderful. The other one where you're sitting there and you're in meditation, and you can see in the background, I can actually see your facility. So that is very warming and welcoming. I find that when I show something about something, like when I show my writing studio or something, those get a lot more than some of the others. People like to see the real, they want transparency. So by the way, you guys, any of you that I have found on Twitter or Instagram, I have followed you. Please follow me back. I'd appreciate it. Liz Gracia, I just did something totally against what I would normally do, and it worked out in my favor. And I think it's because I haven't done it for so long.
Oh.
I spent $13 in 7 days.
Oh.
For a boost, not an ad.
Uh-huh.
I did on Instagram, and I sold 10 books because I can see this because we have Author Central on Amazon.
Ooh.
And the link was to Author Central, and I sold 10 books for $13 in 7 days.
That's awesome.
$13 doesn't even, it's not even the cost of one book. So, a book is $16.95. So that was odd. I'm not going to do that all the time, but when I said boost, I don't think it hit, like you just said, Facebook. It went to Instagram.
Huh.
And so the thing with Instagram is, strangely, you just can't click on something. People have to actually, cut and paste, they have to grab your thing or go to your bio, or they have to
Copy and paste. Yeah.
Yeah, they have to copy and paste it, which is asking them a lot to do, but they did it.
Even on a boost, Lori? Didn't that become a live link? It didn't become a live link?
It doesn't become a live link. And I never saw it once on Facebook. I think they only did it in Instagram, which is very strange, but I still got 10 book sales for $13 in 7 days.
You have a huge following. How big is your following on Instagram?
Instagram is 2,000, and I'm about to roll over 10,000 on Twitter.
Okay.
My Twitter ads don't do well.
You've tried Twitter ads. I have too, but I don't know that I've given it enough. Like you got to give it, you got to align with it.
Right.
So I'm wondering about book sales, Lori, because when you run Facebook ads, you can tell them that your intent is to have a purchase, and there's an opportunity to say what that purchase is worth. And I'm wondering if Facebook is aware that, book sales, you can't be spending a lot of money to sell a book. I mean, because there's no margin, right?
Right.
So I'm wondering if it becomes aware, it has some knowingness of what's going on.
It might be a smart ad. It might be intuitive. I don't know the back side of it, but I was pretty impressed. Again, I went completely against what I would normally do. I don't boost. I just don't. And I thought, I'm just going to do it. $13. It's
no kidding. That's awesome. I'd do that again.
And they gave me a $5 credit, so it didn't cost me. It was 13 minus 5.
Totally awesome. I love that. All right. I wanted to say more about this. So when you create a Facebook ad, it doesn't give me, or I haven't tried to create just an Instagram only ad yet. I haven't tried that, though I've tried to find it. I get lost in the maze of creating ads. It's like, where the hell is it? I can't find it. So when you create a Facebook ad, it doesn't give you options. It's going to say, we highly recommend you, well, maybe it does give you the options, because it says, here's our 12 different platforms, and all of them have to do with, there's a lot of weird stuff that how ads get delivered in different networks, on different devices. There's device research saying, 50% of your people are seeing you on a mobile phone. So There's a lot of mobile phone use. And when you create your ad creative, make sure it's going to look good on a mobile phone. I had to make sure that landing page looked good on a mobile phone. And I can, with that Thrive theme I'm using, it shows me what it looks like. And if it doesn't look good, I got to fix it. So there's a lot of details you got to be aware of, which is why having a marketing Deborah is going to freak out. You got to get some help to get it started until you get into the flow of how it works. I don't want to make it difficult, but there's different steps along the way that you can optimize. So I want to share the last step of optimization. Well, there's always ways to improve. And that is your email automation stream. I'm going to show you my campaign. So let me share the page. Let me get on the page before I try to share it. Okay. Share the screen. Oop. All right. So when people land on my landing page, which I showed you, they click the pink button, and now it adds them to my email automation stream. I've had much better open and click-through rates on these automation streams, and I keep trying to optimize them. However, I think I could probably do more, but I know that it's the cold audience. My other cold audience campaigns have had much higher open rates, and this open rate could be low because people get their first video without having to come here. So there could be a lot of different things going on. So what I've been doing is I've been changing the subject line on some of these. I've got 6, you can see, 20% open rate, click-through rate. I'm looking at these. I'm like, these click-through rates were low. I went in and I changed the call to action in the ad. So this is how you can go optimize the automation stream, because this is another big part of it. And this is where most stuff happens in online marketing. Most conversion is happening through the email, not anywhere else, just so you know, based on stats. It may not be true for you, but overall, let's go with like, what's the general stat on this? Most of your business is happening through your email nurturing campaigns and automation streams. So when I first started, you can see I've got open rates there and click-through rates here, open and click-through rates here. Open rate is higher here, click-through rate. And then as you go along, the open rates and click-through rates fall because there's some people like, I've had enough or whatever. They drop out, they've seen the video, they're not interested, whatever. And I haven't been able to optimize these two. They're kind of staying the same here. But then this one, these two start to bump up again, which is interesting. So part of your process when you're trying to optimize a Facebook ad campaign is you got to come in and see what's going on here. So here's the problem with people diving into Facebook ads without market awareness, which I told you at the beginning. Get help with content and lead magnets before you dive into this giant process. It's a lot of work to set up all the videos I've done, all the emails I've done, all the optimization. I've gone back and said, I got to fix. And when I did this, I have a spreadsheet that says, all right, this was what the subject line was. This is the open rate. This is the click-through rate. What did I change? I changed one piece of it. I go back. All right, has the open rate improved? And on some of them, yes. Some of them haven't gone down. They're neutral. I'm like, all right. So you got to be diligent about the process and understand you got to fine tune it. And there's a point where you got to say, okay, let's just leave it alone for now because I understand it's a cold audience. People don't know me. All right. When I did the Facebook ad campaign for the Mind, Body, Spirit Network, I had a one-page PDF opt-in. The open rate was 50%, 50 to 60%. I'm going to change my opt-in to a one-page PDF and see what the difference is. Be interesting to see the difference. And I did test that, one PDF versus something else. I forget what it was, but there was a big difference in the open rate. And then this Athena Arena crowd I'm targeting, they're not interested in the meetup like the Mind, Body, Spirit people were. So my second email was inviting people into the meetup. I had 30% of everyone that showed up sign up for the meetup. Whereas here it's much lower, like really low, like 5%, if that, not even that. It's low. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. They're not interested in this. So just interesting FYIs. And that's all I really wanted to share about Facebook ads. And I'm going to go back to the very beginning. And this is why I don't do anything, engage in any type of online marketing or website design without keyword marketing research first. It's an inexpensive way to get started as opposed to hiring a marketing company to do market analysis for you. It's not the end all be all, but it sure does give me a good idea where to begin. So that's where I began with everyone. And I did want to answer a question. I wanted to address, Tracy, the fact that you're trying to help your husband locally, presumably. Tracy, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you're running Facebook ads locally, I think just visibility alone is a good idea, but you got to be consistent. And I used to be a home furnishings retailer in Boston, and everything was print. So when I discovered Facebook ads, I'm like, oh my God, it's so cheap to get visibility on Facebook as opposed to paying for a print ad. Like $400 in Boulder. I know you're in the Boulder area. It's easily $400 or $500 to run an ad in a newspaper once, as opposed to putting $500 a month on a consistent visibility ad. And then a lead generation ad is not a bad idea, but be interesting. I think video might be helpful. Video of your Kung Fu studio or video of your husband teaching people, something like that to get engagement. But it's going to be locally focused, so that's a different effort.
Yeah, that was something I was thinking about, is because his hook or whatever it's a free monthly event that maybe it will become twice a month. So it's not like opting into the email or.
Okay, that's fine. That's good.
Thing. So yeah. But
it would be a good idea if they could opt in to receive the invitation, so that they don't just leave. They have to opt in to receive the freebie or whatever, so that now you can communicate with them. Because I hate to run ads and not get something.
Yeah.
You can at least try to do that. They'll still know that you're doing it. But then if you could just say, if you'd like a reminder of this, please give me your email. We'll send you a reminder of the event, because people need to be reminded. Could be a good strategy. And are you using Instagram at all yet, Tracy?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's likely the small players like us are going to get relegated to Instagram, because the bigger marketers are taking up the newsfeed because they can afford a lot of money to keep it. Money's going to go where it's wanted. So if big companies are willing to pay a premium to be in the news feeds of their target audience, they're going to get that position over us, which is why because I'm going low cost. I'm not spending thousands of dollars a month on Facebook ads. And big companies can easily do that. They can spend 10 grand a month, no problem. So you got to do the math. It makes sense that, Facebook is a public company now. They got to make money to please their investors, of which I am one. Hi, Linda. Oh, I can't hear you, even though you're unmuted. So Tracy, did I give you some ideas on that? Hold on one second, Tracy. Did I answer questions?
I've got some ideas rolling around in my head as like what you were. It does sound like a good idea to capture the email addresses.
Yeah.
That's one thing I'd been thinking too, is just need to sit down and brainstorm some more with him, because we've talked about the keywords a bit and that, but I think you're right with capturing the email addresses and staying in touch. It's good.
And there's a new objective. It's fairly new in the last year, where it's wanting to help local businesses generate leads. It's not as sophisticated as what I'm talking about here. It's simpler, where you can just create a lead generation ad so that they're going to capture leads for you. The emails, I suspect, I haven't tested it, are going to go through Facebook. I don't know that you're going to be able to connect it to like MailChimp. I think they're going to capture the leads, and you're going to have to export them or do something funky. Is anyone here doing that on Facebook yet, generating leads? I think it's really, the feel is it is more for local business, And so that you're able to like to offer coupons and discounts and all kinds of stuff, that it's kind of fun through that particular objective. It's a different type of ad, but I think the price point of what it's going to cost may be lower because it's understanding it's helping local business. That might be a way to go for you too, Tracy. It's just a low cost way to generate leads in the local area. And I don't even think you can offer a lead magnet on that. It's just people that are interested in what you're doing. So.
Can I chime in?
I'll check that out. Thanks.
Okay. Linda?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, I had to take my mic off for some reason. I'll have to fix that later. I just came in really late, and I think I heard you say Kung Fu Studio or something like that.
Oh,
so,
yes.
So I have a karate school.
Yes.
And so the idea that's coming to me with what you're talking about right now, and I think I'm going to do it. I mean, we did this Groupon thing, but it just doesn't pull in my community for some reason. But possibly the opt-in, because what we do is not like you can give them a PDF. You know?
No. Right.
Yeah. But we can probably give them a special invitation, print this out, come to the dojo and receive your first month free or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like a coupon, right?
Then you can get that email, but we don't have to call it a coupon. We can call it like a special invitation.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that ad I'm talking about, there's an ad just to, so you'd run to lead because you're offering a discount of some sort or a benefit of some sort. And it delivers that somehow. I forget how it happened, but I remember running this before. I'm like, oh, this is cool. Let's give this a test. I think I did it with Cheryl. I think we tried it with you, Cheryl. I don't know that we got any results. I think you got to be more consistent with that strategy. But as a local service provider, it's not a bad idea to do that. So to get them, it's a good idea if you can get them into the studio for sure. Bring this in, print it out, or there might be some digital form that would end up on their phone with a QR code. They come in, they're like, that would be ideal because those people are so, especially Kung Fu, it's all young boys, most of them. They're all digital. They're like, here's my QR code, sign me up, or whatever. You know, so think about your audience. But I'm sure there's a way to QR code it so that people can show up. You got to tell them, you got to come to the studio. You want to get them in the door. For sure. Get them in the door. Especially if it smells all kinds of sweaty and yucky in there. You want those boys to smell it. There's girls doing Kung Fu too. I don't want to be gender biased, but you know, guys want to kick ass. So do women though. Look at Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh my God. Took me most of my life to calm down that energy.
All right. It's 9:58. I do want to, before we go, I'll definitely take more questions. But for those of you who are here, we're having an awesome holiday event next week. And I'm calling it Tap into the High Vibe Frequency of the Holidays and Ignite Your Holiday Spirit. And this is what I call a lighthouse presentation. Anytime I have members of the mindbodyspirit.com present in this online meetup, I'm calling it a lighthouse presentation because they were a beacon unto all of you. They have a lot to offer and great healing stuff that's going to be happening. So next week, this is a freebie, and we're going to do it Wednesday night next week too, so that others can participate in it. If you're here now, you'll get an invitation, but if you'd like to do it Wednesday night too, you're going to have to go to our Facebook group page or the Mind Body Spirit Network page, and you'll find how about I just share the page with you? That's a good idea. You know, sometimes I'm not that bright. I'm going to share the link to register for that particular event. In the event, you'd like to do it Wednesday night or both. If you guys want to do it, I would totally do it Tuesday and Wednesday because the energy is going to be killer. So, yeah.
You know what, having the 2 nights is really great because I have a client who opted in. She lives in Australia.
Oh.
She can make the Wednesday night a whole lot easier.
Nice.
To do that other one.
All right.
At least she gets to have one in person, but she still gets both.
Okay. So here's what the event's going to look like, and I'm going to share the link to it. Cheryl Murphy, Liz Bigger, Linda Armstrong, Deborah Edwards, most of the people who see here today are part of this event. It's a healing, it's an energy clearing, it's guided meditation, it's understanding levels of consciousness of the holidays and how to tap into it. And each one of us is going to have a 15-minute segment it's really going to be a healing, awesome thing. So Cheryl's going to kick it off with like this visualization she does to kind of set the tone for the group and the group and the healing intention and the high vibe intention of what's going on. And she's the founder of the Healing Prayer Circle, so she knows what she's doing. And then Deborah Edwards is going to kick it off with a really yummy meditation to get us really grounded into the intention of the event. And then Linda Armstrong is going to tap into the group to see what is needed energetically to clear, do the energy clearing, whatever is needed to help us to align with our highest intention of the holiday and enjoying the high frequency of the holiday season, because it's super high vibe, in case you if you didn't know that. And then I'm going to give a presentation about the levels of consciousness of different aspects of the holiday, so I can put it into context how significant this holiday season is, and things that are going on around it are very high vibe. And I always feel it. I feel like this is a loving, peace on earth type of time for me, for sure. And it's nice to feel. And then after that, Cheryl Murphy, who is a spiritual medium, has very quick access to the angelic realm. And she can feel the presence of whatever energy it is that's come to speak to us through Cheryl. Cheryl's going to get the message of what the group needs to hear, and the collective of whoever ends up hearing the video later. And then Liz Bigger's going to come on. She's going to do a chakra reading for the group. And all of us we're magnets for each other. So the consciousness is aware of what the group needs in regards to the chakra healing. And she's going to give us some insights as to what it means. It's likely, who knows what's likely, but presumably there will be one key chakra that needs addressing. And then Liz is going to go through an energy clearing of that chakra. And then we're going to finish it up with Cheryl Murphy closing the circle. And then we're just going to have 15 minutes of Q&A for each one of the members. I mean, everyone has a very unique gift to offer, and we want the audience to be able to speak with us and say, all right, what did that mean? What was that? Whatever. That's what we're doing. 2 days of that, you guys. If you want to come twice, you're welcome to come twice. So that's what's happening next week. Woo woo. And then we're going to have 2 weeks off. So we want to hit you hard next week into the holidays with some love, unconditional love and joy and peace on earth type of frequencies. And then we're not going to be back until January 8th for our mastermind to open up the 2019. So thank you everyone for joining us. And if you go to the mindbodyspiritnetwork.com, you'll see I meant to share that link for people that don't know. Hold on, let me share the link to this event. Where did it go? But if you go to our Mind Body Spirit Network page or our High Vibe Tribe Facebook group, these events are listed there so that you can share it. We'd love for you to share it with others. And we'd love to have you come join us. And if you want to do the Wednesday night, you definitely need to register it, because I won't be sending an email out for that one. That'll come from a different list. So here's that link real quick. And Lori, I'm going to tag you on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. So I have the image that's working, so I'd like you to share that one. Thanks, Lori. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you all next week, hopefully, and then it won't be until the new year when we meet again. So